If Canada had to choose one partner for the next 20 years, China or the United States, which path would most reliably deliver jobs, stability, and long-term prosperity for Canadians? Let's examine the evidence with a clear lens and follow where the data, strategy, and risk point us. We will cut through slogans and look at what actually moves the economy, how the math adds up, what security commitments really mean, where technology leadership is concentrated, and which trade-offs Canada can live with. Start with economic reality. The United States is Canada's dominant market, with roughly 3/4 of exports flowing south as part of deeply integrated North American supply chains. Autos are built and sold across that border every day. Energy moves through shared infrastructure, and services link firms and workers on both sides. That translates into millions of Canadian paychecks ultimately tied to U.S. demand and cross-border production networks. Pricing power in oil, gas, and agriculture still depends heavily on those North American systems, with oil markets shaped by export capacity and refinery access, gas constrained by pipelines and transport, and agriculture moving efficiently when logistics and rules are aligned. In practice, much of this remains anchored by U.S. pipelines, rail, and regulations. China, meanwhile, is the global growth engine, the second-largest economy with massive demand for commodities, food, and critical minerals that Canada can supply. That demand covers commodities from metals to forest products, extends to Canadian food exports, and includes critical minerals essential to clean technology supply chains. Access to that market can offer scale, faster approvals in some cases, and deep manufacturing capacity that helps projects move quickly. Scale matters for investment and unit costs. Speed can be an advantage when regulatory timelines compress, and manufacturing depth can fill gaps in supply. Yet access can be volatile, with tariffs, informal boycotts, or sudden licensing shifts that can whiplash exporters. Jobs today still skew toward the U.S., while incremental opportunity and margins can sometimes look better with China. But on a risk-adjusted basis, the United States continues to anchor stability for Canadian firms and workers. Now consider national sovereignty and security. With the United States, Canada sits inside NORAD, NATO, and the Five Eyes Intelligence Partnership, gaining protection and influence from allied integration. NORAD provides continental aerospace warning and defense. NATO links Canada to collective defense commitments. And Five Eyes enables intelligence sharing at scale. These frameworks deliver early warning, shared cyber defense, and diplomatic leverage, while also creating pressure to align on sanctions, technology bans, and defense spending. Early warning improves detection and response. Shared cyber defense hardens critical infrastructure, and allied leverage amplifies Canada's voice. With China, commercial ties can invite political leverage, as market access, student flows, and investment can become bargaining chips during disputes. Access to ports and distribution can be expanded or curtailed. International student flows can surge or slow, and investment can be conditioned to advance policy goals. Canadian security agencies document risks that include cyber theft, pressure around intellectual property, and interference in domestic institutions. Cyber theft targets companies and research. IP pressure can erode long-term competitiveness, and interference undermines trust in democratic processes. Economic dependence in either direction narrows room to maneuver, but the security costs of misalignment with allies are higher on the U.S. side of the ledger, while the political risks of overexposure are higher with China. Turn to innovation and the future economy. The United States leads in AI models, advanced chips, enterprise software, and capital markets that finance scale. Access to world-class AI models and compute attracts talent, cutting-edge chips, power research and production. Software ecosystems accelerate product development, and deep capital pools support scale-ups. Plugging into U.S. R&D partnerships, high-skilled talent visas, and the Inflation Reduction Act for EVs and batteries can pull Canadian firms up the value chain. R&D collaboration strengthens domestic labs, talent mobility fills critical skills gaps, and EV subsidies catalyze investment in North American supply chains. China leads in batteries, solar manufacturing, rare earth processing, and cost-down production that can scale inputs rapidly. Battery capacity and chemistry expertise are world-class. Solar production achieves extraordinary volumes. Rare earth processing dominates crucial steps, and cost-down manufacturing reduces prices quickly. That can accelerate scale and secure supplies of critical inputs, but it may also lock Canadian firms into technology standards and dependencies that are difficult to unwind. For moving beyond a resource exporter profile, U.S. partnerships tend to support IP retention and higher value activity at home, while Chinese partnerships tend to deliver scale and speed that can be commercially compelling. Values and interests cannot be separated, and Canada cannot ignore human rights or rule of law concerns without reputational and political costs. At the same time, pure moralizing without an industrial strategy is a luxury that forfeits leverage and jobs. The real test is aligning values with enforceable rules, trusted supply chains, and diversified markets that reduce risk while compounding prosperity. So, U.S. anchor, China scale, or a resilient middle path? What side are you on?